a.m. The Glenn Lall Show, only on Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 and 99.5 FM.
Namaste to you, ladies and gentlemen. 19 hours 20 in Guyana, right across the Eastern Caribbean. It is time for us to tell it as it is. Welcome to the Glenn Lall Show on frequencies 99.1 and 99.5 FM, and broadcasting to you on our social media platforms and our apps. Welcome. It is Monday. It is a day after Father's Day. We trust that all our fathers, they're well rested and they'll be able to join us tonight. And happy belated Father's Day to the man of the moment. Sir, namaste to you. And how was your Father's Day yesterday?
Oh boy, my Father's Day.
Or Papa's Day.
Papa Day. It was great. It was great. And I hope that all the fathers enjoyed what is described as Father's Day. I hope you guys enjoyed. You know, Josh?
Uh-huh.
I wake up yesterday morning, I went downstairs. I wake up early, it's Father's Day. You want to make sure you see what gifts are there for you.
It's not Christmas. It's so exciting.
And the phone rang. I began chatting with a lawyer. Man, in which she could not believe that Vice President Jagdeo says he doesn't know whether the royalty we are receiving in this country from ExxonMobil is recoverable or not. Joshua? Yeah. I was telling the lawyer, you hear nothing yet about what ExxonMobil is doing to this country. When my granddaughter woke up, you hear me? She came downstairs, hold my hands, walk me into the bathroom, close the door, and tell me, Papa, stay right there. She said, Papa, not again, not so early. Father's Day, Exxon. No, Papa, no. 3 times I come out, and from the time I come out of the bathroom, the girl hold my hand and carry me back in there. Papa, finish your business in there. I swear it. One of the grandsons, the twin, one of them came, hold my hand and carry me in there. And if that door could have locked from outside, you would lock me in there. Yeah, man said, stay in there, man. Come on, you're waking me up this early in the morning, Papa. Oh, gosh, we need to sleep. That's what the man said, we need to sleep. So I spend my day on the phone in the bathroom. I get to read and see all my messages. And the first message I opened, Joshua, I had a smile. It came with a picture that showed a Mother's Day juxtaposing to Father's Day. Mother's Day, the eating table, right? Got one big, huge baked chicken. You hear me? Macaroni, cheese, fried rice, potato, man, you name it. Everything there on the table. Right? Man, you see that, the Mother's Day table, how well decorated it is. It was, right? And on the Father's Day, under that is the Father's Day picture with the eating table, Joshua. Guess what they're down there? Some scranky looking chicken foot. And chicken legs. Fried chicken legs with some fried rice. That's it. That thing knocked me out. It really made my day. That's how fathers are being treated in the world today. And this is because of people like your politicians. Yes. These decent and honest hooligans we have, pampersetting themselves as leaders, I must tell you though, Miss Harris, my eating table, was well decked out. And I enjoy every moment of it. Namaste, guys. Namaste. That's just a joke, all right? I just share that with you. I get gifts too, you know. I get gifts.
Now you're showing off.
Yeah, I get gifts. I get gifts. But my granddaughter and grandson knocked me out. Hold my hand, literally hold it, pull me in that thing, you know. I was like, no, man, don't do Grandpa this. No, you got to go in there. That's what it is. And they were serious, you know.
Yes.
Man, when the girl tell me, Papa, not Father's Day with ExxonMobil, man, stop it, you know. I was like, wow. Anyway, Josh, could we begin this program tonight? I told the entire audience Friday to call out your neighbors to listen to tonight's program. I only hope you guys did that. Bernard, did you call out your neighbors?
They come and neighbors every day.
All right.
Beg them.
Guys, what I'm about to say will most definitely disturb your soul. So, if you want to have a pleasant night and sleep sound, please don't listen to this program tonight. Turn and go to another channel and listen to some songs, because it will upset you. It's Monday, a beautiful Monday evening, and I want to say to all of you listening, guys, our Creator, God Almighty, whichever name you want to call Him, love the Guyanese people, including Lall. That I am certain of, Miss Harris, and I know that He loves you too. He knows what will become of this country and its future with these oil contracts signed with these foreigners. And He has been warning us in more ways than you can think of, Uncle. From the very first day Guyana discovered oil, He has been doing that. We have been carrying a number of stories, enlightening and educating you people as to what oil companies did throughout this world. When Joseph Biden decided to raise the 18.75% royalty rates that the USA was receiving from the oil companies in December gone, Ms. Harris, that was a message for all of us, because we only get in 2%.
Yep.
When Canada 3 weeks ago demanded a 5 to 40% royalty increase from their oil company, yes, that was another eye-opener to Guyana and all of us. When the British government 2 weeks ago slapped on a 25% tax on all the oil companies in England, that was another revelation for the politicians of Guyana and every single Guyanese. Not true, Bernard?
Definitely.
These three superpowers of the world slapping on massive take from on oil companies for their people. Ms. Harris, is a clear message. It's a clear message not only to Guyana and its people, but that's a message come from God Almighty.
To the whole world.
Yes, to the whole world. Our Creator, Miss Harris, did not stop there. He is the one that inspired me, gave me the wisdom 3 weeks ago to send 2 reporters to a 3-day international oil conference in Trinidad and Tobago. You hear that? In Trinidad and Tobago, while my reporters were there, another revelation came to light about oil royalties. I want you guys to listen carefully to this revelation. Trinidad was pumping oil and gas and collecting royalties for the last 60 years. And when the TNT, citizens think all was bright and beautiful with them and the oil companies, it wasn't so. They found out several generations were taken for a ride. Bluntly put, the oil companies in Trinidad and Tobago were ripping off all Trinidadians, all the royalties. You hear that? The oil companies were giving them royalties with their right hand today, and tomorrow them thief it back with their left hand. And not a single Trinidadians knew that.
Ponzi scheme.
Yeah. It was during that oil conference 3 weeks ago that my reporters found this out when a Trini said to my reporter, "All you better check and see if Guyana is not in the same boat like Trinidad." Before I go further, Uncle and Auntie, let me say this boldly. Guyana is in a boat
Worst boat in
at the tip of the Kaieteur Falls with no paddle and no one to help us where these royalties Guyana is collecting concerned. Not a single soul will help us. 56 years later, listen to this, Bernard. 56 years later, having been robbed day after day, night after night, Trinidad and Tobago in 2017, in 24 years ago, were able to plug and stop this cockery the oil companies were doing to that country with their royalty payments. Wow. Only 4 years ago. Every cent they paid to Trinidad, they were thieving it back, unknowing to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. You understand? It was only 4 years ago the government decided to sit down and create a new contract which demanded 12.5% royalty and clearly states non-recoverable. Yes, they can't take it back. So it means, Ms. Harris, for 56 years, the oil companies, you hear me, that was paying the people royalty in the right hand, was thieving it back, every single cent back out of the hand of the Trinidadian people. Guyana contract says nothing if royalties can be recovered. Let me repeat. The contract we have with ExxonMobil and their partners do not stop them from thieving back the royalties they've been giving to Guyana. You hear me, man? Am I clear there?
No.
And I think I'm happy. Very simple too, right? Good. When Joe Biden said last week that ExxonMobil made more money than God, Uncle, it wasn't a mistake. It was factual. The only thing he stopped short of saying is how they made the money, or that amount of money.
And who they were.
Yes. It was by robbing every oil producing country
In the world.
on earth they were working in. Before I get to what they're doing right here in Guyana with our royalty payments, Uncle, please allow me. Let me give you guys a quick rundown of what ExxonMobil and other oil companies did to them own American people and other countries around the world with royalties. In 2010, that's 12 years ago, a U.S. judge found Exxon and their partners guilty of systematically underreporting the value of gas they were taking out from the wells they were working on. And because of the wrong information, they paid far less royalties to the government.
It's not the same scam again, no?
And the people who own the land too. It's the government plus the people who own the land they were working on. To settle that matter, uncle, ExxonMobil agreed to pay 32.2 million in federal fines. What else they paid to the people was not reported. The Kaieteur News also found out between 1998 and 2000, the U.S. Justice Department had intervened against 7 oil companies. ExxonMobil was one of them, for knowingly undervaluing the oil extracted from public and private lands, in which they had to pay 170 million American dollars to settle those cases. Are you with me, Ms. Harris? Is the Guyanese people with me?
Let's hope.
I hope so. Here's some more of how decent and honest ExxonMobil is. Yes. This same company, all these good-for-nothing politicians bowing down to like God, as if they're God. In 2003, uncle, ExxonMobil was ordered by another U.S. court to pay more than 100 million US dollar in back pay royalties. They rob Alabama, a state in the U.S. In 2012, in another state called Kansas, yes, a U.S. judge found that ExxonMobil was falsely deducting expenses, robbing the landowners their rightful share of royalties. And the judge promptly ordered ExxonMobil to settle with the people in the sum of 54 million American dollars. In the state of Alaska, these are different states in Alaska, in America, you know, man. ExxonMobil and 2 other oil companies were dragged before the court for doing the same thing. The state, this one a little different, the state spent 217 million US dollar in legal fees to get back their rightful revenue. The companies ripped them off. And in the end, Ms. Harris, in the end of the court matter, they were awarded 2.7 billion American dollars. Hear what the governor said, man. The governor said 217 million US that they spent on legal fees was worth the while because they get 2.7 billion in return, not million, billion. The whole of Guyana 2022 budget money, yes, Exxon had to give back that one state, uncle, due to crookishness. Yes.
Thing is with the Guyana.
Me no want to talk about Guyana, man. I just telling you what's going on. And that is only some of the robberies, the cheating and skullduggery
In the whole country.
that went on in the United States of America. The other parts of the world, every one of them oil countries were raped. Yes, were raped blindly by the oil companies. In Chad, for example, ExxonMobil and their partners are asking for settlement with that government after they take them to court for over $800 million. They were robbed. You hear that, man? Y'all listening to me, uncle and auntie?
They rob either from one ship or the other.
That was in 2014. Yes. That just when Guyana find oil, uncle. They didn't say if or how much Exxon settled for, but the government went for 800 million. Nigeria had to go to court for 9.6 billion, uncle. That nearly 4-year Guyana budget money. That ExxonMobil and others cheated them on royalties and taxes in 2 years alone, from 2009 to 2011. 2 years alone, man. And in 2014, they were able to get back 2 billion out of that 9.6 billion. The rest is still outstanding, auntie. The list of robberies by ExxonMobil and others in different parts of the world will take more than 1,000 programs to tell you people. Just listen what a senior policy advisor at Oxfam America, yes, a company fighting for greater transparency in the oil and mining sector, yes, had to say about oil companies. And I want to quote them. Hear what these people had to say, man. Let me read it. If this is happening in the US, where we have strong legal and regulatory system, which should, in theory, reduce the incentives for this type of behavior, it's very likely to be happening around the world, especially in places with much weaker governance systems.
Weaker? Some they don't have no damn governance.
Man,
Like where?
we have no system whatsoever.
Exactly.
We don't got no weak system.
We have no system.
You understand?
And we don't even have
With a
leaders.
clown in charge.
We got corrupt.
With
Uncle
clowns.
and auntie, this information that I just give there is at a finger click. Just click your finger on Google and you can have access to everything I said there. Now let's turn to this country, this beautiful country that's called Guyana.
Cash cow.
The cash cow of all the oil companies. Yes. With a profit, with we profit oil and that 2% royalty. That we have a contract signed with the same scampish ExxonMobil and the other oil companies. My reporter, the same young lady, Kiana Wilborg, that went to Trinidad, asked the financial guru of Guyana, our vice president, that is heading the oil sector at his press conference last week, Wednesday.
Mr. No-brainer.
Yes. Sir, is the royalties paid by the oil companies to Guyana recoverable? Then 51 minutes after, uncle, I did a follow-up to that same question she asked. Please listen. Could you play that tape for me? Please listen to both answers our vice president gave. Play it for me there quickly.
Yes, the thing is that the lawyers have to do that. I don't want to venture public positions that I may have to walk back at some point in time, so I should be a bit more cautious on this. Because on other matters, we've had some contention.
Royalties. I heard you talked about the royalty when Kiana asked if it's recoverable, and I didn't hear you very good.
Yeah, but that's why I gave an explanation. I don't want, I have not looked at this matter carefully, so I don't want to give a venture. That's the last thing I do, venture.
That's the most important thing. That's what
Right.
this country
Right.
depends on.
I'll look at it. I'll give you an answer.
That's the most important thing this country depends on. I went on to ask him. That's it. I'll explain it. That's it. Uncle, you heard the man that is in charge of this oil sector, what he had to say on our royalties payments. This simple yet important answer he should have had at his fingertip, Miss Harris. The answer should be at this man's fingertip. Whether the money Exxon giving Guyana as part of our share, our royalty, he don't know whether they can take it back. Wait, man. Something definitely wrong here, Miss Harris. Miss Bernard? Mr. Bernard?
Definitely.
Huh? A man giving your family 2 mangoes every day with the left hand as you share, and you don't know if the man taking back the 2 mangoes with the right hand the next day? Huh? What else do you don't know in this business, Mr. Jagdeo? Huh? You fit to be sitting anywhere running this nation's affair, man? Eh? This $1 trillion US?
Competence.
Auntie, uncle, he said he has to be advised by his legal team. What legal team has to do with whether a man can take back the profit he gave you as expenses? Huh? When this man was the president of Guyana, uncle, for 12 years he was. 12 years that man was President Bernard. And you hear what this man telling Guyana? He is known to be one of the smartest economists in this region. How come he doesn't know something as simple, straightforward as that, man? Uncle, can somebody answer me that question? A vendor or a sugar cake seller on the streets will know that. If he or she has a business with somebody else, and when they collect the share of profit, the partner can't put it back as expenses the next day. Come on, man. Eh? A donkey who can't speak English will give you a straightforward answer. Yes. Would give you a straightforward answer, maybe in Chinese, to that question, man. Huh? I wonder, with Jagdeo not knowing whether ExxonMobil taking back the 2% royalty, if he would know anything, whether Exxon is taking back the profits they're giving us to. How can an ex-president tell a nation, after pumping oil and receiving royalties 3 years now, Miss Harris, that you have to ask your legal team to tell you whether ExxonMobil taking back the money or not? You are getting a monthly report with all the costs and expenses for the last 3 years. 3 years pumping oil, and you don't know whether the little money you're collecting as royalty, if it's staying with you or the man thieving it out back the next day. What else this man know? Can somebody help me? Huh? Can somebody help me? I'm getting thirsty. My Father's Day food and drink I have worked out already by just trying to fathom, to wrap my head around what's going on in this country, Uncle and Auntie, with your money. And these gangsters we have out there. The Vice President said, I don't want to venture public positions that I may have to walk back on at some point in time, so I will be a bit cautious on this. His words. He said, such issues should not leave to politicians to answer, but rather in a much more capable hands of the nation's tax and legal authorities. You see what you do there, Bernard? Miss Harris, you understand what he do there? He shift, yes.
Shift the burden.
He shift the burden now. Like how he shift the insurance deal to them little children at EPA. Now he's saying, well, the lawyers should tell me this, or GRA. Them kids at GRA should tell me this. Answer this question.
He in charge of the sector.
And he in charge. You know, this is when you have, I don't want to use the word, but this is not crook. This is beyond crook.
Devious.
You know, this is devious. You know, when you don't want anybody to pin you down, right? When you want to defend and support and don't say a bad word about something, you know, you shift it. All right, well, me not deal with that. You know, well, he promised to get back to us, right? I think the next day, that should have been an answer to the entire Guyanese population. And to now, since last week, Wednesday to now, we haven't heard a statement. He haven't sent out a release. He didn't send a text message. He didn't give a telephone call to tell this nation, hey, what's going on?
Because that's the next state secret.
You just heard, Uncle and Auntie, what ExxonMobil did to its own country, the USA, and several other countries around this world with royalties. And here we have our vice president. Yes. That same man, y'all throwing mal around neck every hour of the day, in charge of our oil, telling us 3 years later that he don't know if Exxon taking back the royalty or not. Me can't hear you, Miss Harris. I can't hear you, man. You saying wow, sometimes I don't have words to describe this. Does he know, Uncle, if Exxon taking back the profits that Guyana is collecting too? Huh? What I know, Miss Harris, is that everybody has their own interpretation of what the contract says on the calculation of royalties. The vice president saying he doesn't know. Aubrey Norton, the opposition leader, said them shouldn't take it back, meaning he and all don't know. David Patterson, who used to run the sector under the coalition, said they're not supposed to, meaning he too doesn't know what's going on. Ramjattan, yes, the AFC leader, also doesn't know. And when it comes to the ex-finance minister Winston Jordan, if Exxon can take back the royalty, he says absolutely not. So there you have it, Uncle and Auntie. None of these 5 men, yes, can definitively say whether ExxonMobil is taking back the royalty paid to us or not. Yes, these 5 morons leading this country, your US $1 trillion business, and cannot answer such a straightforward, simple, important question.
Exactly. And such massive wealth.
The that Trini MP, I played a couple, I think was, I don't know which program on, said, this is the people I stain your finger for? This is the people I vote for? Oh yeah? Oh yeah? I love that Trini man, eh? I love him, Miss Harris. That question, Auntie and Uncle, that simple question, Lall and the Kaieteur News staff, yes, know, and them doesn't know. You hear that? That question, Lall and the staff of Kaieteur News know, and them doesn't know it. I will give you guys the answer on Wednesday. that will leave some of you breathless. Or should I tell them tonight? No, I'm not telling y'all tonight. Let me be very clear, Uncle. Nowhere in the ExxonMobil contract is it spelled out that royalties cannot be recovered. You hear that? It's not there.
It's not there.
It's not there.
They can't do it.
Man, I gotta give them the answer Wednesday. I want you guys to listen. The only way we can know, though, they can know, is through the oil company's expenses. And that is being hidden from us, the people of this country.
Stay a secret.
Yes. Those figures is not being released to the public. And honestly, I believe this country should shut down all production and demand that Jagdeo, yes,
Come clean.
Norton and Ramjattan, all of them should come clear, seeing that they doesn't know anything. Release every single expenses so that we, the people of this country, can know what is going on and turn back and advise them. What you say, man?
Our will.
Eh? It's our wealth. We should see, we should know. If them have it and them don't know, well, let us see, and we'll tell the nation. Those same monthly reports, Uncle, that is hiding from the nation, yes, they should make it available to all of us. I am going on the road tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. to protest at Houston on the east bank of the Demerara. And that is one of the things I will be demanding. I want to see all expenses that Exxon is taking out from our oil out there. I want to see it. I want to see how much billions we are being taken for a ride or we are being robbed on a daily basis. I want anybody and everybody to join me, and let's fight as one people for our livelihood, Uncle. It's at stake. When the politicians refuse to be truthful, playing games, making fools of us, hiding stuff, then it is time that we as Guyanese take matters into our own hands so that we can bring about that change. Or you guys can sit down and wait 56 years like the Trinidadians, yes, to find out ExxonMobil was walking away with everything. I decide which one I want. Come out and protest, or I want lie down and sleep and learn 56 years that you're being treated the same way by ExxonMobil, like how Trinidadians were treated. A friend said to me last night, his national ID card marked Guyanese. It marked PPP, PNC or KFC. It didn't say Indians, Africans or Amerindians. It didn't say Christian, Hindu or Muslims. It didn't say rich or poor, sick or healthy. It says Guyanese. So I am looking forward to seeing every one of you out there as Guyanese with me. 10 a.m. 10 a.m. sharp. And let's begin our fight to ensure that what these oil companies are doing around the world, robbing and raping countries, does not happen here. You heard it loud and clear. Your leaders doesn't know, doesn't have an answer.
Doesn't care.
I will give you guys the answer on Wednesday. Or if you treat me nice. If you treat me nice, I'll give you at the end of the program. Can you imagine for a moment, Bernard, every 6-7 shipload of oil going out, this country then gets 1 shipload.
After 7.
And on top of that, Guyana paying all the taxes, which is more than the 1 shipload money y'all getting, man. Eh? What's going on in this land, uncle? That is the contract that we sign on to, that we are living with today. Yes. The same contract that these clowns or morons is saying that is good for Guyana. That same contract that does not spell out clearly if ExxonMobil them are taking back the royalties that we are getting. Eh?
But they said that terrible contract they wouldn't have signed it.
Huh? Uncle and auntie, let me tell you what Exxon contract says when it comes to royalties. Please listen to me carefully. The contract lists a few specific things that Exxon cannot claim back, take back or recover from the oil business. For example, if a Guyana judge fine ExxonMobil $100 million US, they cannot take out that money from the oil business. And royalties is not on that list. You hear that?
They can't take it out.
Royalties is not on that list. This brings or raises the whole ant's nest as to where Guyana is heading with even the 2% royalty. This is a tragedy that doesn't have measurement, uncle. Miss Harris, tragedy is not a word. This wouldn't have enough tears if all the Guyanese were to cry over it. Yes. If the most important thing is not clear in the contract and your leaders can't say whether they know or know not, then where are we going, man? Huh? Uncle and auntie, that should have been at the top of the list. That should have spelled out clearly at the top that oil companies cannot, should not, and must not take back royalty payments under the cover of expenses or under the cover of anything else. It should have been big and bold in capital letters, like what Trinidad and Tobago just installed in their contract. Royalties non-recoverable. Big and bold. We got leaders telling we got the best contract on earth. We got a lovely contract. These clowns are you marlaying every day. Continue. We are all waiting on the oil president, Vice President Jagdeo, to send out a release or talk to this nation on this royalty issues, like I said just now. But I see them running around the country, spending hours abusing down and cussing down the PNC. And guess what, man? You're not hearing a single word from him on what they're doing. What they're doing for us to get more out of that contract or the oil. Nothing you're hearing. What are all the politicians doing in this country today? Cussing and abusing down each other. Yeah, man, Miss Harris?
That's what they know.
Yes. It's a clear case, Miss Harris, of distraction from what is going on with your oil wealth. This attitude was described nicely by a Trini when he said the politicians in Trinidad were using a soft touch approach when it comes to the oil industry. This is why Trinidad was shafted not only with the royalty, but they later found out, Miss Harris, that down to the bonus money Trinidad received was snatched back by the oil companies, unknowing to them. Yeah, man. Yes, they found out this lately too. And this brings me to another question. Did ExxonMobil take out the 18 million, that's cranky looking 18 million the pelta tayo back from the expenses yet?
Of course. I bet my last.
Jagdeo is in the best position to tell us that, to answer that question. Do we know and do we hear anything about that? No. Instead, he spent months cussing down the PNC for hiding that from the nation. And you hear a little or nothing from his mouth on this oil industry. A matter of fact, Miss Harris, yes, the only time you hear this man say something is when he's asked questions about the oil, and you guys hear the type of answers he gives, man. I don't have to repeat that. This is the version of Jagdeo, Norton and Ramjattan soft touch approach to the oil companies, that they don't know the basic. If royalty is being taken back. You hear that? I am so ashamed. The head of the AFC, Ramjattan, repeated himself, yes, when he was elected last week, how Guyana get a good oil deal. Hear that? Uncle, that's what you call the soft touch approach that caused Trinidad and many other oil producing countries to be where they are today. Silence makes the oil companies happy and keeps the nation stupid. Every program I keep asking, when last are you hear anything from these leaders of this country about the oil resources? I am begging you people to shoot the questions to them. Please let it be our mantra. Every time I see any one of them anywhere, confront them, man. Ask them questions about what is there for you. The owners of this wealth. Do something. Get up and get out. Get in their faces. Yes. Like that female farmer from Bartica. Yes. When she asked President Ali, tell us something about our oil blocks. Yes. And he get annoyed. Man, the answer he gave, I wanted to know if the woman tell him something about his wife or his mommy or his daddy. That's how we have to have them. Confront them. Shoot the questions to them. And be bold. Watch them in the face and answer them back. They're selling you out, uncle and auntie. They're selling out your future. One single expense the oil company taking out in 2 years is more than half of what Guyana gets for the whole 2 years. Them take out $355 million US. And Guyana gets $607 million for 20 and 21. Then Guyana allow ExxonMobil to keep the $355 million US to be used 20 years from now for cleanup. While Ali and Jagdeo and Ashti Singh, along with the opposition, yes, taking loans. 190 million for build the Bush Road in the interior. And the other day they're going to borrow 100 million more from the CDB for build East Bank Road. What the oil company them broken up every day. This is a good deal, eh? Yes, this is a good deal Guyana get with the oil company Ramjattan, Norton and Jagdeo. Beautiful deal. indebting this country every day with loans to facilitate the oil companies that is taking back your royalty and signing bonus. This is a lovely place, eh?
Brilliant.
This got to be the best. Let me wrap up. I want to give you guys time to shoot some questions and with your phone calls. Let me wrap up by telling you how this whole country, except me, Glenn Lall, was waiting last night on the program in which a foreign reporter interviewed Jagdeo on corruption in Guyana. In a nutshell, the entire article is about a Chinese man named Mr. Su, who told the reporter that he was a close friend and tenant of Jagdeo, and everything that is being done in this country has to be done under the table. Let me ask this question, Ms. Harris. Is that anything new with the politicians of this country?
All of them, no.
Huh?
All of them, no.
Then he said, once you're good, the Chinese man said during the interview, once you're good with Jagdeo, you can get what you want done right away with a telephone call. Anything new here again, man? Miss Harris, anything new there?
We knew that all along.
That's old news.
That has been happening all the while. 30 years now. That is how this country has been running, uncle, for the last 30 years. 30 years from top to bottom. You got friends, you're a family member, you can pass a bribe here and there. Everything is possible in this country. Foreigners doesn't have to come here to interview a Chinese man to tell Guyana that. But it's the talk of the country now. One Chinese man named Su and Jagdeo. Wow. How you explain these things, man? How you explain this thing? The same reporter asked him about Amelia Falls hydro project. We have carried that story umpteen times. Since 2007 when I come with it, we tell you guys it's a Ponzi scheme. Jagdeo wanted to throw on us since then. Back then, the whole world was paying less than $1 million per megawatt. And Jagdeo was going to pay 4 million per megawatt. 4 million US per megawatt, you know.
Saving Guyana money.
Man, you gotta get a Chinese man, or you gotta get a foreign reporter to come tell you these things, man. Look what's going on with the airport there right now.
Exactly.
160 plus 70 million US counting. You can build 10 airports right across this region. One in every region.
Milking cow.
Yes.
Milking cow.
You don't go far for corruption, man. Then I see a senior opposition member Parliament, Rysdale Ford, calling for Jagdeo resignation on an allegation that has been in the air for years now. Maybe Rysdale Ford was in nursery school when we were reporting on Baishan
He was.
on Baishan that the PPP gave away over half of Guyana
Half the
to.
country,
And he had to know it was the coalition government went in and had to rescind and take back most of the land that was given to the Chinese.
They have Su.
Yes. Those allegations are nothing new, uncle and auntie. Nothing. The Vice News reporter spoke about, like I said, many things there that we already knew. We already knew these things. We already knew about all the Ponzi scheme in the Barbies Bridge and the Marriott Hotel and everything. The girl talk about your gold, your diamond, and your bauxite lands that end up in the Chinese hand. All in foreign people hands. You hear me, man? We spoke about that. Every day, Google these stories. Google it. And it's there. It's staring You in your face. Down to the coalition government. Give away, we prime land to foreigners. So no Vice News or foreign reporter got to come tell you anything, uncle and auntie. The Kaieteur News has been the mouthpiece every day. Is that what Lall and the Kaieteur News have been saying all the time? Every year, the Kaieteur News has been reporting on this, brothers and sisters. And the opposition didn't take action, didn't call for nobody's resignation. Every single day, massive corruption and thievery going on every project with your tax dollars. From a school toilet to the Marriott Hotel, man, to the end of whatever. Yes. And Risedale Ford, a call for resignation now. A foreign reporter has weighed on an allegation, and the facts Kaieteur News putting out every day, they're not seeing that, uncle. Like I said, under the coalition government, yes, they were part of giving away the same way, the same Mr. Sue was talking, was talking. If I lie, Mr. Sue was there too. I want you guys to understand me. I am not defending Jagdeo. I'm just letting you people know. They just open their mouths only when it suits them. I have said it many times before. These politicians we have pamperzetting themselves are incompetent, corrupt, and in most cases penny-wise and pound foolish. They're talking about a single tree while the entire forest is on fire. Focusing on local content pennies for the Guyanese people, while your royalties, yes, and your taxes that worth billions of American dollars disappearing back into the hands of the owners that give you the next day. Yes, those same oil companies taking back that money and nobody knows anything about it. Another foreign reporter will come to shine that light, and when the people like 40, like when 40 them here, a foreign vice, they're going to put out a statement and call for another resignation. Ta-da! You know, we can take the phone calls. I saw a story in the newspaper yesterday, in the Stabrook News, how a young minister named Deodat Indar sent detectives to question the editor-in-chief of Stabrook News as to how he get hold of a document the minister claimed was stolen from his private company. The document, uncle, had information that showed the minister was actively involved in an oil and gas business. You hear that? The document showed that the minister was actively involved in an oil and gas business, oil and gas company. Yes. When he had told the whole nation he had nothing to do with the company after becoming a government minister. You hear that? When you get catch up with your lyingness is a terrible thing, eh? Yes, it's a terrible thing, uncle. The newspaper, in a lawful manner, paid for and received a copy of the document from the deeds registry and published it with a stamp on it. Then the minister turned around and said the next day, he never sent the police to the Stabrook News. Let me say this, Indar. Y'all is past people in the media. Y'all must try that at the Kaieteur News with Glenn Lall. Send the police to come to Glenn Lall. I must do that. Nothing in breaking in. You claim how the place was breaking in and they lose documents. And because Stabrook News carried the story exposing him, right? How he's lying to the nation. Right? He called the commander and the commander sent detective for question him. And question him, how did he get that document? Why y'all send them to me? And to ask me how I just know all these information that has been publishing every day in the newspaper. How come you ain't send them to me? I must send them, man. Send them to Glenn Lall. And don't send two detectives. Send the whole Evilary. Glenn Lall is not a bad man. But Glenn Lall will stand up for his right.
The fourth estate.
You hear me? I will leave you guys with this voice note. I got a voice note. Play it for them, let them listen to him. Opportunity to make money so they can come. Guyana got opportunity to make money. That was Vice President Jagdeo on the Vice News,
What about the Guyanese people?
laughing and saying how Guyana got money for the foreign people. What they got for you? They named the people named the program Guyana for Sale. After listening that little piece, I would say Guyana is for giveaway, not for sale. I am calling on the police, the army, the lawyers, the judges, the union leaders, and every right-thinking Guyanese to join me at Houston on the east bank of Demerara tomorrow morning, and every morning thereafter at 10 a.m. as we demand our rightful share of our God-given wealth. Please join me. I will fight this fight. I am ready for it. Good night, and God bless you people until I see whoever come tomorrow at Houston on the east bank of Demerara to fight for our share. Joshua, open the phone lines and let's take these phone calls. Wow, man, I'm tired.
You can call us on 226-745-324, 622-2222, or 624-6456.
That's why I had to tell some of these people earlier. Do not. I have a first call here. Yes.
Mr. Glenn Lall.
Good evening, sir.
Good night, sir. How are you? Good night to the team.
Yeah.
My quick question is that, people wants to give donation over here in the United States and Canada. However, I was expecting you to announce my cell phone number to anybody over here who is willing to donate or contribute to the cause so we could keep the protest going. I was expecting you to give out my phone number.
All right. If you want me to do that, I'll do it.
On my...
Thank you. I'll do that right now. You want to make a contribution? I cut off. All right. The gentleman is saying give his number. Yeah, because we have people who want to protest. They're calling for protests, and they don't have passage to come. So we need some help. You guys can pledge. As a matter of fact, some people already. Do you have any phone calls here, Miss Harris? Would you like to take the floor, Bernard?
I don't know where to start.
Yes, it's sad. That's the reason I tell you. Yes, sir. Good evening.
Hello?
Good evening. Can you call out your
I
number?
also want.
Can you call out your number?
Yeah, my phone number, Danny Ramnarine at 917-560-7445. You can call me
7445.
24/7.
Thank you. Thank you.
I want to make a little comments on some of these things that you talk about tonight, Mr. Glenlaw.
Go ahead.
In regards to you keep saying that Bara Jagdeo is a smart man. Do you know how many Guyanese economists are teaching in Princeton and in university in America? They're a lot smarter people than Bara Jagdeo when it comes as an economist. He is smart because there's dumb people that are listening to this fool and this clown. Okay?
All right. Thank you.
I have people that I know people that also working in the bank in the Caribbean that belongs to Guyana, that from Lenora, who have a PhD in economists, as an economist. That's one. Two, today the PPP are putting out all these headlines about Vice News is in trouble, the company's not doing good. Instead of them attacking what the substance of the article is, they are attacking the company itself.
I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you.
Okay.
Let's move away from that. Thank you.
Is Mr. Glenlaw.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Good night, caller. Welcome to the Glenn Lall Show. Hello, caller. Are you there? Hello. Good night. Welcome to the Glenn Lall Show.
Can you hold that person? Yes, good night, sir. You're live on the air.
Good night. How are you, Mr. Lall?
Yes, yes. Good evening.
I would like to talk about the famous gas ashore project that you guys have in place in Guyana.
I would have. Can you I would like to do a special program on that, and I would love to have your comment on that on the program. I don't want to dissect. I don't want to change. We don't want to deviate from this. This is a very hot topic we're on tonight. If you care to comment on royalties being recovered by oil companies,
I was listening to that topic.
Yes,
and it's very interesting. Well, you let me know whenever you want me to talk, and we'll discuss about it.
Thank you.
More than happy.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, caller. Welcome. It's gone.
226-7453 and
226-7454 622-22.
You have 2-3 calls that I had to cut off too.
You got them cut off. Yeah, I think
What happened to the messages?
everyone in the studio is stumped.
Yes.
We've been put through a lot recently.
Yes, Miss Harris, I'm tired when
Where do you
finish with
start?
this program.
Where do we start?
Because this thing is so unthinkable, unimaginable. Like you want to know who's really running this land, who's running this country.
We've been doing this for a year and something. It's like we're not making no headway. It's like what more does Guyanese people need to wake up, man? It's like I don't know what to say, man.
I don't know. Guyana is the kind of place where you believe the lunatics are running the asylum.
Hell yeah.
Honestly.
And they're so silent. They are so silent.
Guyanese are just strapped in for the ride.
They are so silent, my friend. You take it.
Caller, good evening, welcome. Hello?
You on the air?
Caller, good evening and welcome.
Good evening. I'm calling from Barbados, Guyanese. I even listened to Glenn Lall for the very first time last Sunday. And I'm very much impressed with this.
Not hearing that call.
I don't think we should blame the PNC, the PVP, for what going on in the country. We should blame the fellow Guyanese. I listened to that program last week, Sunday. I want to come with my eyes. And I tell myself, you know that those two parties are the devil. And we still putting them in there. We need a change. we need a change. Because you're going to talk about the PVP, you're going to talk about the PNC, and they're going to get the same result because all of them come from the same school. Right? So I want to thank Glenn Lall for the work he's doing. I'm listening to him and I'll continue to listen to him.
Thank you.
But we don't have to blame ourselves because we know these people are the devils and we still put them in there. So we got to get the devil's results. We need change and we got to get somebody to make it. Both parties are members of one another. And we can't get the same devils to run the country. The corrupt, both parties. We need new leaders. We have lawyers and we have doctors and all these people behaving like they are done. You don't even need nothing from them. Right? So I think we should blame the fellow Guyanese. Thank you.
Thank you.
My friend, if you can ask Ramjattan, Jagdeo and Aubrey Norton and Patterson, who's to run the system with Jordan, and these 5 men cannot be definitively clear in whether royalty is being recovered by the oil companies. It is sad. It is sad.
Calling
It
good
is
evening
sad.
and welcome.
Very good afternoon.
Good night.
Good night. I have been listening to this show for some time now, and I have been listening to Mr. Glenn Lall, as he spoke very eloquently on the issue of oil in Guyana. However, what I am trying to establish is why are the Guyanese people not supporting Glenn Lall the way they should be? For example, every night I hear him crying for people to come out and join the protest. And when I check the newspapers, I see 20, 30 people attending. 30 people of a population of 700,000 people. It's inadequate, totally inadequate.
Ask him
That
if he could
will
hold.
not allow no government in any part of the world to react.
Okay, you hold one. Good.
Party in Guyana. There's the PPP and the PNC. The PNC is in opposition. They should galvanize with Mr. Glenn Lall, get their supporters out to force the government to the negotiation table and settle that matter once and for all.
They don't want this.
You all will not get any further if we don't get the people out to help. I hear Ms. Harris on many occasions, and I'm very impressed with that young lady, making some very valid points. But one thing she said that resonated with me, when she said, Guyanese people are not involved. And you must get the Guyanese people involved. 50, 80 people, no good. Mr. Glenn Lall have been putting some good points. No one in the whole world said Mr. Lall is wrong. So it tells me that Mr. Lall is touching the right button, but he needs the support. I have read the Kaieteur newspaper every day, the letter section and everything. Men like G.K. Lall and so forth, they're all talking about the problem of oil. But no one is publicly coming forward and assisting Mr. Lall. He needs assistance. He is third. And he needs help. He only could do that much. And I'm begging the Guyanese people, come out tomorrow at 10 a.m., as he said in Houston, give him that moral support. If you give Mr. Lall that support, what you will have, the whole of Guyana will then rise up, and you all will get success. If there's no success, then the people will perish. And it hurts me. I'm not a Guyanese, but it hurts me every night
to hear Mr. Lall begging, pleading. The only thing he can do here is cry to get the Guyanese people fully involved. My humble people, my humble friends, please join Mr. Lall. Help him, and you all will reach success. Mr. Jagdeo is a very good politician. He's clever, very, very clever. He knows that if Mr. Lall don't get public support, he can ride right through without any fear. If he ever get the support from the PNC, PPP supporters of the whole of Guyana, that contract will be rescinded, and it will be rescinded. But it's the people of Guyana who must hold hand in hand, forget the politics, forget the political patronage, and join and get this thing once for all settled. It is important that it's done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very, very good. Very good points he made. And he asked a beautiful question, dear Miss Harris. Why the people is not coming out? Huh? Well, that question he asked tells us and tells him how much love, admiration the people of this country have for their political parties. You know, that's why I'm here every day. We're not here to remove the PPP or the PNC or AFC. We're here to educate them so that we all can join together, rally together, band together, and let them understand that we need our leaders, the elected leaders, the people who you stain your finger for, to stand up and do the right things that will benefit you and your children. That's all the gentleman is saying. And like I said earlier, we have a Guyanese identification card that says Guyanese. It is a PPP, a PNC, or AFC. So you guys need to get your grips together and let's take this fight a step further. Because, like I've said many times before, oil companies line the pockets of the politicians. And if they line the pockets, then, hey, you're doomed. You're doomed. And let's don't allow that to continue. This is why every day they can say we have a good contract when it's the worst contract on earth. I've asked them many times to find me, show me a contract that is halfway where Guyana is. And they can't find nothing. There's none.
It's not a good contract, it's the best contract in the world. For the foreigners, not for Guyanese.
Yeah, well,
It's the best contract out for the foreigners, that's why they come here to make money.
thank you. Well, you put it. Yes.
Caller, good evening.
Mr. Lall.
He's on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Lall. I see they got. Good night, Mr. Lall.
Good night. Good night.
I see a lot of scrap metal boats selling for $12.7 million.
You need to lower your radio when you're calling us, sir.
Yeah, people have got caught.
Cut him off, because we're a little waste of time. Tell him to call back.
He said you've got a scrap metal boat selling for
We have
12.
we have another one here.
Yeah, take the call. Tell him.
Caller, good evening and welcome.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Go ahead. Good evening.
Yeah. Good night to the panel and good night to Mr. Lall.
Good night. Good night.
Yeah, Mr. Lall. I really watch your show actually every time. Every time I go for watch your show, I say, watch it tonight. But if I don't watch it, eventually it is bothering me so much that I still have to watch. And if I do watch, it is still bothering me so much that it left me kind of stressed out. But I make a little contribution.
Yeah.
Hello?
Go ahead. Yeah.
We're hearing you.
Yeah, let me make a little contribution. You see, the politicians, they weigh down the Guyanese people so much that the Guyanese people right now ain't want wealth. The Guyanese people just want to survive. Because I'm a foreigner that come on back home here to live.
And when I really check out the whole system, the people just want to survive. The people don't want wealth. Because when I talk to people, I say, hey, yeah, let's stand up and fight for nothing. The people are saying, they don't want nothing, they just want to survive, they just want to live. So we got to change your mindset out from the public. Let them know that we need wealth. We just don't need to survive.
Wealth is your birthright.
You know, and that's how the guys them set up the place, and that's how the people understand it to go through it. So, anyway, though, good show. Keep it up.
Thank
I'm
you.
home here now, and I will come and support you.
Thank you.
I will come and stand up and fight.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's what we need, man. We need to carry this fight. We need to fight this fight. And we need to fight this fight daily. This is not a one day off thing. This has to be a continuous fight. That's the only way we can bring about a good life for the people of this country.
I have a question here from someone that says, Mr. Lall, today I was very surprised and impressed to see the Stabrook News in the editorial has joined the call for the renegotiation of the Exxon contract. How do you respond to this?
Every day, the Kaieteur News carried stories like that. For years now, from the moment that contract was released, and we began get an understanding of what that contract really is to the Guyanese people. We have been literally crying and begging the leaders, and every one of them has turned their back or turned a blind eye on that question. Look, when Joseph Harman was removed as opposition leader, we had lots of hope in this company that Norton can come from nowhere and really stand up and say something. From the time that man go in office, it's like you going back to square one.
Exactly.
You got past
You
me,
know?
or you got back
The man went so far to write a letter 4 o'clock in the morning to tell the Kaieteur News that he didn't use the word renegotiation. Right? But let's drop renegotiation for now. I want to stick with the sanctity of contract. Okay? There are 1,000 ways in which we can get back more. Listen, one simple example, Joshua, is that you get rapper 1, 2, and 3. You get rapper 4. Come on, man. Number 5 coming. Well, you going to allow him to rob you again on 5, man? Wait, man. What is more simple than that?
Sure.
You know? This whole country should come out into the streets and lie down into the streets if Jagdeo approved this 5th project. But guess what? Yes, Exxon partner already said 2 weeks ago, that will be approved by the end of this year and early next year, the 6th project. You understand? Imagine the shipbuilders. Listen to this, Joshua. These things are very important things for your ears, right? The shipbuilders, these platforms, they can't build fast enough for Guyana, to send to Guyana, right? So if Exxon can find people to build these things quickly, man, Jagdeo will approve tomorrow morning. Why? ExxonMobil has the largest oil field in Guyana. The most valuable oil field. 600 oil blocks was given to these people free. Right? Like I fed up saying this, repeating these things. Had we gotten a signing bonus, the whole region debt could have paid off with signing bonus alone. A decent signing bonus. Okay? You give away the people them free. You get a bad deal, 2%, in which you don't know whether they're recovering their 2% royalties. You don't know how they're calculating the profits. The profits they're giving you when the day come.
Glenn.
Okay? You on top of all this, you give away the people all the taxes. You turn back paying the people them taxes. And the one shipload you get in on every 6 or 7 can't even pay the taxes that the people going away with. And you still approving more and more projects, man? What are you doing to this nation, man? You're not selling out this country there, man. You're not even giving away this country, man. You're prostituting the entire country with its people inside. Come on.
And it brings
Come
me to the
on.
next question. Could you give us a rough average in Guyana dollars how much we've lost in royalties?
Well,
How much we've lost?
Yes.
first of all, we need to know, and I'm checking on that tomorrow. We need to know exactly how much barrel oil came up in 2020, in 2021. That's the only way we can know.
Okay.
Exactly how much 2% we are supposed to get. That's a beautiful, oh my gosh, that's a beauty of a question. I'm going to talk on that on Wednesday.
I think
That-
the figure for royalty is about 4.3 billion we've received so
Man,
far.
wait, relax. Let me give them. I will give the entire country the precise, the exact figures. I'll get that
Glenn.
for Wednesday.
Glenn, I think you conflated two different things. The Guyanese people have been robbed. The person who's approving the project is not being robbed. He's been getting something that we make. Why do you keep approving the project?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, you gotta careful.
Right, okay. I'm
Listen,
saying,
man.
okay.
Listen. You gotta careful. You don't want no lawsuit.
Right, I answer.
All right?
The Guyanese people are
Why
getting robbed every
would
day.
no, forget about Jagdeo approving these
I ain't
projects?
calling no-
Why the opposition is not saying a word? So this thing is not
One
crazy.
person.
This thing is not madness.
It's not one person. It's,
All right?
it's a group of persons, yes.
And Guyanese citizens need to understand this thing. Once the opposition is going to be silent, then the cat will take over.
We have 65 persons in parliament. They are not from one party. They are from all walks of Guyanese. All Guyanese are represented in the 65 parliamentarians. I'm not saying the one person. Why is 65 people who are supposed to represent the whole country, why are they silent? Why is the country being so loud? I would say this, all 65 of them are traitors to this country, Glenn.
Exactly.
Right, that's what I am saying. If they are sent there to represent the people of this country, and the people of this country are being getting robbed and taken advantage of, they are complicit in this. I said all 65 parliamentarians, they are not represent, they are not doing what they are sent there to do by the people who voted them to do. All Guyanese voted for them. I am not calling anything. I'm telling every single one of them was sent there by the Guyanese people to represent the Guyanese people, and they are not representing the Guyanese people.
Bernard, if I ever get my way, I will charge all of these people criminally and place them before
Yes,
court.
sir. Every single one of them should be tried for treason. Because to sell out your country to foreigners, it's the definition of treason.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
When there
It
are
is.
people, when there's children starving in this country, and people could be boasting that foreigners are coming to Guyana to make money, they come to make money, no, they come to rob Guyanese of their money. We are not against foreigners coming to the country, but come and get a fair deal like Suriname. The foreign companies come to Suriname, they go to with 37.75%, and they're very happy. Why they must work with 85% of Guyana? What are we? We are fools, we are junkies. So I am saying all 65 of those people in parliament represent all the political parties in Guyana. I call on them, they are all traitors to this country. And when they start to stand up for the rights of Guyanese and represent Guyanese people, then I would withdraw that statement.
Thank you.
Not a second before that.
Thank you. Good evening, you're live on the air.
Yeah, good night, Mr. Lall. Mr. Lall, I don't know if you would elaborate a bit on the Vice President said Guyana don't have money to, install solar and wind.
Christ.
So I don't know if you would elaborate a little.
Thank you. That's a program I want to do. I want to do
That's like a
separate.
man.
The Vice President is a clown to say that Guyana doesn't have money. Guyana, in a nutshell, my friend, solar can come here in this country. I've spoken to 2 people to come on air to explain solar to Guyana, cheaper energy for Guyana, rather than that Ponzi scheme they want to bring and throw on us, rather than that GD with the gas plant they want to throw on Guyana. The gas to show plant at Wales, oh my gosh, I don't even want to think about it. That's like a disaster
The biggest white elephant in the making.
waiting to explode in this country.
The $1 billion for the pipeline alone, the $1 billion for the pipeline alone could give power, solar power to the whole Caribbean.
Yes, exactly.
Solar
Mr.
power.
Mr.
So let's
Glenn-
talk about that another day.
Yeah, that's a whole
go
other
ahead.
program.
Mr. Glenn Lall,
Yes,
thank you
sir.
very much for giving me the opportunity to be here. It has been a pleasure and a good platform.
Thank you.
I want to encourage you on behalf of the United States and a lot of people from South Florida that listen to your program to continue to do what you're doing. If you could extend the airtime, that would be a good thing. Because people want to say so much. 24 hours is not good enough. Another thing is we should understand is that we Guyanese have to stand up and respect ourselves
Definitely.
and value ourselves as Guyanese.
Exactly.
We have a tendency of forgetting who we are, and for various reasons. That's because the top tells you who you are. So you get brainwashed when the top telling you this is who you are. So Guyanese and citizens of this country here in Guyana and worldwide that's listening to this program, I encourage you as a guest here on this panel here with the Glenn Lall Show to stand up, listen, and be encouraged and voice your opinion. This is not the years when you have to say nothing. These are the years you could say something.
Perfect.
And saying something doesn't mean you're right or wrong. Saying something is because, you know why? This is your opinion.
It's your right. It's your right to express your opinion.
Having said that, there's so many things need to be done in Guyana. And we see 3 years. My thing is of the royalty, 3 years of the royalties. And I have to go back to that. Why did it take 3 years?
It's a beautiful question.
Why didn't it take from day one to understand that this has to go back to them? Who was reading the contract? Who signed the contract?
The contract was signed in Florida, in Texas.
Was the contract written by who? Guyana?
No, it was written by your company.
Was it written by Exxon?
Yes, it was.
Do we have any proof to show that we even look at the contract?
Nope.
Yes, but may I, Tony? It's a contract we're living with, my friend. Please understand that. What we have to look at is the business as it go along on a daily basis. Why don't we know what is happening? That's a big question. The contract signed to which we're living, we have to live with it.
Sir, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you. But if I'm writing a contract with someone that's under duress or any other circumstance that prevail, that if they're they don't have the ability to
Incapacitated.
sign or anything like that, is a question. If they don't have proper representation, then it's no contract.
Exactly, I agree. That's a beautiful point. I agree
So
with that too.
the question is, we have to go back, rewind the clock.
But Tony, what do you say when the contract is signed and all of you are looking at it, it's staring you in your face with all the immoralities and bad, seductive, raping provisions in that contract, and you're not saying anything, Tony.
Some say it's better.
And you're not saying nothing.
Let's hold that thought for a moment.
Good.
And that's an important thought that you really put it on the table.
Mhm.
Before this contract was signed, there are other countries that you said were being prostituted by Exxon.
Exactly.
A long list.
Yeah, a very long list. Come on, man. If I want to know my neighbors, I got to find out who they are, right?
Exactly.
Why could we call other countries and find out what's the working relationship with this company? Why could we find out, hey, if you're going to go and apply for a job, you have to have a resume.
Exactly.
You have to show, and then what happens once you get a resume? You would have the personnel call and verify whether I'm good or not.
Yes, but like I said, we signed on to a bad contract.
No.
Why it's not being corrected? That's where we got to take this discussion, my friend.
There's two things. One, how the contract was signed, and as you said, future contracts. I agree with you on future contracts.
But why future contracts is fine. This one signed. But we are talking about correcting and fixing the loopholes that exist in this contract right now. Why we're not hearing a word from our leaders as to that aspect of the contract.
It depends on benefits, eh? And
now you're talking to me. Benefit. Who's benefiting?
Yeah,
Benefits.
benefits. And I'll leave it like that, and I'll pass it
Can
on.
you hold one moment? I have somebody on the line here. Yes, good evening, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Lall and the panel. I would like to make a little contribution. And I hope it will be welcome. Is there any way we can implement a strategy to motivate the people to come out? I've been thinking
Pay
about
them.
ways and means for quite a while. If we are to go into the direction of like running a raffle whenever the picketing is going on, and come up with a sum of money that a ticket with a number will be given, and whichever number is that person gets that money.
My friend,
my friend, and I follow your program all the time, man.
My friend.
My mind is built up to a level where I'm prepared to die for Guyana.
I hear you. I hear you. Can you hold 1 second? My friend, we are dealing with a very serious issue here. We should not be holding raffle. People need to understand that we have to die for what they're doing to us with our God-given blessed wealth.
If we can get our fair share, nobody should get any.
The gentleman is saying if we can't get our fair share, then the oil companies should get out. Nobody should get our wealth.
We shouldn't give it up so cheap.
And we should fight for that.
Yes, fight for your right.
We need to shout in the politicians' face when we see them, what is going on? Why you people not silent? Why you people are so silent? Stop telling us that we have a good deal. And if we do have a good deal, show us how we have a good deal.
Exactly.
Let the morons who are talking about Guyana got a good deal bring one oil contract to show us for the last 100 years that Guyana has a good contract. I am challenging ExxonMobil, Hess Corporation, and CNOOC, all the oil companies in this country or in this world, to show me, Glenn Lall, so I could tell the nation that, listen, well, at least we have countries that had worse contracts than Guyana. None. I put one of my staff, took 3 months. 3 months to do a research on oil contracts, and we haven't found any any with 2%. The second best we found out started at 5% with profits. Nothing under 5 for the last 100 years. And these clowns we have for leaders telling us, but what? We got good deal. Them get good deal for their pocket and their family's pocket.
Guyanese miners
One
are paying
second.
5%
Go ahead, sir.
Mr. Lall, one of the things we need to look at too with the leaders, mainly the third world leaders, their method of administration is centered along an institutionalized slavery. For them to participate or get themselves involved into a certain realm, they have to subject themselves to punish the people.
I hear you.
Yes.
I hear you.
It is slavery what they're told world leaders, not only Guyana, but it's throughout the world. Because what they're trying to make themselves known, and for them to get that sort of recognition, they have to punish the people. It is said that most of the Guyanese are semi-illiterate because people want to know why the Guyanese people are accepting these things.
I hear you. I hear you. I hear you.
It is sad. And one day they're going to wake up and realize that countries with no natural resource or no dependent means to sustain themselves, the economy, are striving better than Guyana. If we have examples, countries that are part of the Commonwealth in the Caribbean, they only depend upon tourism, and they have a more economic sustainability than Guyana. All because of siphoning off the resource, the monetary resource of the country, which is bad, which is silly. Guyana is like a mafia organization.
It is.
It is sad to say.
It is. It is. It is.
That's my contribution.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you.
You're welcome, and
Slavery. It's not slavery. It's thievery plus slavery going on in this thing. But they're not going to get away with it, my friend. They're not going to get away with it. Not once this mouth have the strength and I get the blessings from the man above. They're not going to get away with it. I will be speaking morning, noon, and night. Every day on the radio, in the newspapers, and on the streets. No, they can't get away with it. Today's technology, my friend, will not allow them to. So you need to keep that in mind. You need to keep that in mind. You see how quick the minister jump up and say that he didn't send the police? Yes. Quick. They're not going to get away with it. They're not. Miss Harris?
Yes, sir.
We are going past.
I think Josh is trying to signal you.
Go ahead.
I think I told you you need more time, eh? It's 24/7.
Yeah, but the gentleman signaled me that I got to come off the radio station.
Indeed.
No, but what I'm saying is that there's so much to be said. The Guyanese people has been stifled in their words, and they can have no media to tell them or to say, but this is the platform that you have set. So people are finding a way to call into this venue to say what they have to say. Before it was zero.
Yep.
Before it was zero. I'm going to say one more thing, and I don't know how everyone would take it, but this royalty thing is a troubling thing.
Everything about his contribution.
And I had the opportunity to be around and local. When I say local, very local. And the first thing people ask, when are we going to get his money?
What
when,
money?
when are we going to get this money?
What money?
Let me finish, and then, sir, you could say anything you want to say, but I got to say to you, it's not how they say it. You could see their eyes, the longing effect of saying, you know what, all this wealth that we reportedly have, and we don't have it? Where is it going?
It's an illusion.
Whether as a man that walking on the street, whether it's a man that driving your car or a taxi driver, or whether it's someone in the market that's selling vegetables or anything like that, they all want to know the same thing. When are we going to get the money?
When you get us on the street, when you come together.
You know, there was a famous commercial, Where's the Beef? As a young lady, I will call her young, she always say, where is the beef? Where is the money?
My friend,
Where's the
my
money?
friend, you're asking a question, and Bernard was answering you. What money are we talking about? There is no money there for us.
Unless we get out on the street and fight for it.
What is there for us is debts, and more debts upon our backs. Okay? Don't get misled or confused. There is no money in this arrangement with ExxonMobil that is there for the Guyanese people.
Yes, sir.
I don't want to instill in people's mind or in their head that there is money there for you people. There is absolutely nothing if we don't stop what is happening in this country.
Yep.
I will tell you, my friend, just after the program about the royalty, which I will be speaking to the Guyanese people on Wednesday evening. Having said that, I love you people. God bless you. Have a great evening.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.